If you're over 60 and living in America, you've probably never heard of it. Or maybe you've seen it once in an Asian market, a small container of sticky brown beans that smells odd. Most Americans walk right past it. But in Japan, doctors over 70 eat it every single morning. Not because it tastes good, not because it's trendy, but because it works. In fact, one of Japan's most respected physicians, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, who lived and practiced well past 100 years old, was known to eat this strange bean regularly. He once said,
"If you want to stay sharp after 80, take care of your blood before it blocks your thoughts."
and for many Japanese doctors, this food is their first line of protection. It's called natto, a fermented soybean with a texture like melted cheese and a smell that takes some getting used to, but inside it lives something incredible, an enzyme that dissolves blood clots, a vitamin that keeps your bones strong and your arteries soft, and a living bacteria that may even protect your memory. And here's the good news. You don't have to be Japanese to eat it. You don't have to love sticky food. You don't even need chopsticks. You just need to know how to prepare it in a way your brain, your gut, and your taste buds can accept. In today's video, you'll learn why natto is the one food Japanese doctors trust after 60, how it helps circulation, memory, and bone health, and how to enjoy it, even if you're American and never heard of it. We'll even walk you through how to make natto at home with simple steps anyone can follow. So if you've ever worried about memory loss, joint pain, or clogged arteries, stay with us, because this odd little bean might just be the simplest path to living and thinking well. And before we begin, have you ever tried natto? Would you dare to? Let us know in the comments. Part 1. Nattokinase, the enzyme that eats blood clots. At first glance, natto looks like something you'd never put on your plate. Sticky, pungent, almost alien to the American breakfast table. But to doctors in Japan, especially those over 60, natto isn't strange. It's sacred. Because inside this fermented soybean lives one of the most powerful natural compounds ever studied for circulation and brain health, nattokinase. Discovered in 1980 by Dr. Hiroyuki Sumi, this enzyme was found almost by accident. He was testing dozens of foods in a lab, searching for something that could break down fibrin, the sticky protein that causes blood clots. He added natto to a dish with artificial clots, and within minutes, they dissolved. No machines, no chemicals. Just a traditional Japanese food doing what modern medicine had struggled to do without side effects. Nattokinase became known as a natural fibrinolytic, a clot-busting agent made entirely by fermentation, and the results have been quietly studied for decades. One clinical trial showed that a small daily dose of nattokinase reduced blood pressure significantly in older adults, comparable to medication but without the side effects. Other studies found it improved circulation to the brain, reduced platelet aggregation, and helped maintain artery flexibility. This is especially important after 60, because as we age, our blood naturally becomes more viscous. We move less. Our vessels lose elasticity, and that sticky blood can become a silent danger, leading to strokes, heart attacks, and even memory problems. But here's the elegant part. Nattokinase doesn't just thin the blood. It clears the fibrin that clogs it. It improves the body's own ability to break down clots, instead of suppressing it like drugs often do. That's why so many Japanese doctors over 60 eat natto every morning. Not because it tastes amazing, though many grow to love it, but because it supports the one thing they can't afford to lose: blood flow to the brain. Without circulation, nothing else works. Not memory, not balance, not even sleep. One retired neurosurgeon told me, after 70, your brain doesn't ask for more thinking. It asks for more oxygen. And that oxygen doesn't arrive by magic. It arrives by blood. Healthy, smooth-flowing blood, made possible, in part, by Nattokinase. So how do people in Japan actually eat it? They don't take it as a supplement. Most prefer the traditional food form, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of natto in the morning, usually served over warm rice with chopped scallions, a dash of mustard, or raw egg yolk. Some mix it with avocado or miso soup to soften the flavor. The key is consistency. 1 serving a day, every day. That's what keeps nattokinase levels stable in the bloodstream. That's what allows the body to stay in gentle clot prevention mode, without pushing it too far, without bleeding risks, without dependency. But if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin, always talk to your doctor first. Because nattokinase is powerful, and combining it with medication can amplify the effects. For most older adults, though, especially those not on medication, natto offers something rare, a food that doesn't just feed you. It cleans your circulatory system while you eat. And once circulation improves, something magical happens. Energy rises. Memory sharpens. Mood lifts. Because the brain finally gets what it's been starving for. And nattokinase is only the beginning. Because natto has another secret. One that doesn't help the blood, but helps the bones. A rare vitamin that tells calcium where to go and where not to. That's coming up next. And if you've ever worried about osteoporosis, back pain, or brittle knees, you'll want to hear it. Part 2, Vitamin K2, the bone protector. Hidden in natto. Most people think of bones as a calcium issue. You need more dairy. Take calcium pills. Drink milk for strong bones. But here's the missing link. Calcium can't protect your bones if it never gets there. And worse, if calcium goes to the wrong places, like your arteries or joints, it causes more harm than good. This is where vitamin K2 steps in. And it just so happens that natto is the richest natural source of it on Earth. While vitamin K1 helps with blood clotting, vitamin K2, especially the MK7 form found in natto, plays a completely different role. It tells calcium where to go. Imagine K2 as a traffic cop inside your body. It says, calcium, go to the bones. Stay out of the arteries. Don't clog the joints. Without K2, calcium often floats aimlessly, and that's why so many older adults who take calcium supplements still get osteoporosis and arterial calcification. It's not a calcium problem. It's a misdirection problem. That's why Japanese elders who eat natto regularly tend to have lower rates of bone fracture, better posture, and cleaner arteries, even into their 80s and 90s. A large Japanese study followed over 70,000 women for more than 10 years. They found that those who ate natto at least once a week had significantly lower risk of hip fractures than those who didn't. But what makes K2 truly fascinating is its dual role. Because while it strengthens bones, it also protects the cardiovascular system by inhibiting arterial stiffening and reducing vascular calcification. In plain English, it keeps your bones hard and your arteries soft. Exactly the way they're supposed to be. Think of the older adults you know. Many walk hunched over. Others have knee pain, back pain, stiff hips. Some take blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, even memory meds, all caused by a body that's misplacing calcium. Now imagine what would happen if you gave that body the signal to redirect it, gently, daily, without drugs. That's what a simple spoon of natto can do, because every serving contains a powerful dose of MK7, a form of vitamin K2 that stays active in your body for over 24 hours. Not all K2 is the same. Some foods have trace amounts, but only natto has enough to actually make a difference. So how do people eat it to get this benefit? Surprisingly simple. You don't need a lot. Just 2 tablespoons a day, ideally with some fat like avocado, egg yolk, or olive oil. K2 is fat soluble, so pairing it with healthy fats improves absorption. Many older Japanese people mix it with warm rice, miso soup, or raw egg. Some even blend it with yogurt or tofu to soften the texture. What matters is not the recipe. It's the rhythm. Daily intake. Light meal. Natural source. No need for pills. No expensive extracts. No synthetic versions. Just the same food they've been eating in Japan for more than 1,000 years. Not because it's trendy, but because it works. If you're already taking calcium or vitamin D, natto is the missing piece. Because without K2, those supplements may not help you, and could even harm you. One geriatric doctor told me, "I'd rather have 20 micrograms of K2 every day than a whole bottle of calcium pills." And he's not alone. Across Japan, more and more physicians are encouraging patients to go back to this ancient food to help their bones, their blood vessels, and even their brain, because studies now suggest that vitamin K2 may also support cognitive health by preventing calcium deposits in the brain. One sticky bean, one forgotten vitamin. 1,000 quiet benefits. But that's not the only secret hiding in natto, because what makes it alive isn't just the nutrients, it's the bacteria. And what those bacteria do for your gut and mood is something most people never expect. Stay with us. The next part might surprise you the most. Part 3, Fermented Power, How Natto Supports Brain and Gut Health. If you ask most people what they think natto is good for, they'll say circulation or bones. Very few would say the gut. Even fewer would say the brain. But that's exactly where the story gets interesting. Because natto isn't just a food, it's a living ferment. And inside every spoonful, there are billions of Bacillus subtilis, a friendly bacteria that helps your gut thrive. In fact, Bacillus subtilis is one of the oldest probiotic strains known to science. It survives stomach acid, it colonizes the intestines, and it produces enzymes, vitamins, and anti-inflammatory compounds, all of which benefit digestion and immune health. But here's where it gets really surprising. Your gut is directly connected to your brain. Through a network called the gut-brain axis, signals from the digestive system influence your mood, memory, and even decision-making. In older adults, this connection becomes even more important, because as we age, our gut microbiome tends to shrink. fewer good bacteria, more inflammation, slower digestion, all of which lead to what many call senior fog, that fuzzy feeling in the head, the forgetfulness, the low energy that doesn't go away with coffee or sleep. But fermented foods like natto can rebuild that microbial population gently, naturally, and daily. Bacillus subtilis doesn't just help digestion, it supports the production of serotonin, your body's feel-good chemical. Over 90% of serotonin is produced in the gut, and without it, your brain feels flat, anxious, tired. That's why so many people who start eating natto regularly, even just a spoonful a day, report not just better digestion, but improved mood, deeper sleep, and sharper memory. A woman I spoke to in San Francisco, 72 years old, told me she tried natto as a joke. Her grandson dared her to eat it. She gagged the first time, but stuck with it. 3 weeks later, her bloating was gone. Her sleep was deeper. And for the first time in months, she said she woke up feeling light, not in her body, but in her mind. She didn't change anything else. No pills, no meditation, just one new habit, a living food, eaten in the morning. That's the power of fermentation. It doesn't act like a drug. It doesn't give you a jolt. It gently restores balance from the inside out. And that balance isn't just for digestion. It touches your immune system, your energy, your clarity, and even how deeply you sleep at night. Many Americans are skeptical of fermented foods. The smell, the texture, the idea of eating bacteria. But what they often don't realize is that our grandparents ate this way all the time. Sauerkraut, pickles, kefir, buttermilk. They didn't take probiotics in a pill. They ate them at the table with meals every day. Natto is simply the Japanese version of that same wisdom. And while it may look odd, what it does for your body is nothing short of profound. In every sticky strand of natto, there's more than nutrition. There's communication between your gut and your brain, between your past habits and your future health. And it all begins with a small bowl of something alive. But what if you can't find natto? Or you try it and hate it? Don't worry. In the next part, we'll walk you through exactly how to make natto easier to eat, or even how to ferment it yourself at home, with simple tools you already have in your kitchen, because healing foods are only helpful if we actually eat them. Part 4, From Sticky to Sacred, How to Eat Natto Without Gagging. Let's be honest, the first time you see natto, it doesn't look inviting. Sticky threads stretch like melted cheese. It smells like strong cheese or even socks. And the taste? Well, let's just say it's an acquired one. But here's the truth. Natto isn't about flavor. It's about function. And like many healing foods, the body learns to crave it once it understands what it does. Still, we live in the real world. If a food makes you gag, you won't eat it, no matter how healthy it is. So let's talk about how to make natto not just tolerable, but even enjoyable. First, choose the right kind. If you're in the US, look for frozen natto in Japanese or Korean grocery stores. Brands like Okame or Shirakiku are common. Make sure it says with live cultures or Bacillus subtilis natto on the label. Avoid anything labeled natto flavor or pasteurized. It may not contain the active enzyme you need. Second, prep it properly. Take the natto out of the fridge or freezer. Let it sit at room temperature for 10 to 15 minutes. Then stir it vigorously for 20 to 30 seconds. This activates the enzyme and brings out the signature texture. It also softens the smell slightly. Third, add flavor bridges. Don't eat it plain. Add a teaspoon of soy sauce or tamari, a dab of Japanese mustard, chopped scallions, a raw or soft-boiled egg yolk, or mix it into warm rice, mashed avocado, or miso soup. Some people blend natto into a breakfast smoothie with banana and yogurt. It sounds strange, but masks the flavor surprisingly well. Think of it like building tolerance. Start small, just 1 spoon. Then build up over a week. Most people find by day 10, they stop noticing the smell and start noticing how they feel. But what if you can't find natto near you? Or you want to make sure it's as fresh as possible? You can actually make it at home, easily. All you need is 1 cup of organic soybeans, 1 capsule of Bacillus subtilis natto, available online, a slow cooker or yogurt maker, a clean glass dish, a towel. Here's how. 1. Soak the soybeans overnight, 12-16 hours. 2. Boil or pressure cook them until very soft, about 3 hours simmer or 45 minutes in pressure cooker. 3. Cool slightly, then mix in the probiotic powder while beans are still warm, 100 degrees or 38 degrees. 4. Spread into a glass dish. Cover with paper towel or breathable cloth. 5. Incubate at 100 degree, 38 degree for 20 to 24 hours using your yogurt maker, oven with light on, or heating pad. 6. Once sticky threads appear and the smell is nutty sharp, it's done. 7. Refrigerate at least 12 hours before eating. This lets the flavor settle. Homemade natto lasts up to a week in the fridge, and each bite contains live, active enzymes and bacteria, just like the ones eaten for centuries in Japan. Of course, not everyone wants to ferment their own beans. That's okay. Even store-bought natto, prepared gently, eaten slowly, can become a powerful part of your health ritual. Many older Japanese people don't just eat natto. They sit down, take their time. They breathe before and after. It's not just food, it's a moment. And for anyone over 60 in America, adding this strange little bean to your day may be the smallest, most powerful choice you make for your heart, your bones, and your brain. Next, let's make sure you use it safely, especially if you're on medications or dealing with chronic health issues, because even natural foods need to be respected. Safety reminder: a powerful food still deserves respect. Natto is natural. It's safe for most people, but like any powerful food, especially one that affects blood flow, it needs to be used with awareness. If you're currently taking blood thinners like warfarin, aspirin, or clopidogrel, talk to your doctor before adding natto. Nattokinase may amplify the effects of these medications. If you have soy allergies, of course, natto is not recommended. For everyone else, especially those over 60 without major medication conflicts, a daily serving of 2-3 tablespoons is generally well tolerated. Start slow. Give your body time to adjust. And if you notice any unusual symptoms, pause and consult a health professional. And remember, this video is for educational purposes only. It does not replace medical advice. Every body is different, so listen to yours. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress, one meal at a time. Recap: a sticky bean, a clearer life. Let's take a moment to breathe. You've just learned that a strange, sticky food, something you may have never tried, has been quietly keeping Japanese elders sharp, strong, and steady for generations. Inside each bowl of natto lives Nattokinase, the enzyme that helps clear your arteries, vitamin K2, the guide that sends calcium to your bones, Bacillus subtilis, the bacteria that brings balance to your gut and your mood. And now you know how to prepare it, how to enjoy it, and even how to make it yourself. Not because it's trendy, not because it's exotic, but because you deserve to feel good again, in your joints, in your memory, and in your mornings. This isn't about becoming Japanese. It's about remembering something universal. Food is medicine. But only if we eat it with care, and only if we do it consistently. So try it. Start small. Let your body lead the way. And if today's video helped you learn something new, drop a comment below. Tell us if you've ever tried natto, or if you're ready to give it a shot. And don't forget, our next video will show you 5 other ancient foods that doctors around the world use to support memory and longevity. So make sure you hit subscribe, share this with someone you care about, and until next time. And for many Japanese doctors, this food is their first line of protection. It's called natto, a fermented soybean with a texture like melted cheese and a smell that takes some getting used to, but inside it lives something incredible, an enzyme that dissolves blood clots, a vitamin that keeps your bones strong and your arteries soft, and a living bacteria that may even protect your memory. And here's the good news. You don't have to be Japanese to eat it. You don't have to love sticky food. You don't even need chopsticks. You just need to know how to prepare it in a way your brain, your gut, and your taste buds can accept. In today's video, you'll learn why natto is the one food Japanese doctors trust after 60, how it helps circulation, memory, and bone health, and how to enjoy it, even if you're American and never heard of it. We'll even walk you through how to make natto at home with simple steps anyone can follow. So if you've ever worried about memory loss, joint pain, or clogged arteries, stay with us, because this odd little bean might just be the simplest path to living and thinking well. And before we begin, have you ever tried natto? Would you dare to? Let us know in the comments.